everyone. So in this video, I'm going to be explaining to you guys a skill that we use in Elements to Healing to help with DBT. So let me just give you a background of our program. We are a mental health program for teenagers and anybody that's up to the age of 18 who needs support and who can't get the support that they need from other therapists out in the world. We are a confidential service, so anything that you say to us will stay between you and your therapist. And whether or not you tell us something that could be life risk or could be life threatening, let me put it there, we aren't supposed to call the police because we're supposed to be there to help support you unless we hear that you were about to overdose or self-harm yourself. That's when we do it. But that doesn't really happen a lot in our program, but if that was to come up, we would have to do our duty and do that. Okay. So one of the skills that we use is called emotion regulation. And this is a skill that has 4 different sections, 4 different parts in this skill. The first part to it is called opposite action. So when you experience an emotion, a behavior usually comes along with it, right? Because when you experience anger, let's talk about anger. When you experience anger, usually you scream or yell or fight or argue or punch or kick, or you're using your emotion mind in that specific area. The opposite action of that could be talking quietly and behaving politely. But the only way that we can do that oppositeness or change how we are acting is by using a skill, right? So if we're angry, what is the opposite of being angry? It's being relaxed, being calm, not yelling, not screaming, not being a mean person. Of course, our emotions are going to get the best of us at some times, but that doesn't give us the excuse to use our anger to harm somebody else or ourselves. Okay? And sometimes when we're sad, we withdraw from our friends, we visit and communicate. So sometimes when we're sad, we withdraw from our friends. And when we withdraw from our friends, that causes isolation and sadness and depression. So sometimes our emotion mind can get the best of us, right? So we are angry and we scream and we yell and we shout. That's not the right way to deal with the situation. And of course we feel like, ooh, we have to do that. We have to punch, we have to kick, we have to yell. But that's not the way, right? It's not the best outcome that you're going to want from the situation. When you're sad, you may withdraw from your friends, like I might have said 3 times. But the opposite action of that is visit and communicate with friends. The second part of emotion regulation is checking the facts. So when we are having an emotion, we're sad, we're angry, we're yelling. Normally we have urges that come with it, doesn't it? Doesn't that happen, right? You have maybe urges to, do something like that, cutting, maybe committing suicide. There's so many urges that come with things that make us feel like there's no hope. But when we use these skills, there's obviously a hope. Okay? So ask yourself the following questions. What event triggered my emotion? What interpretations or assumptions am I making about the event? And does my emotion and its intensity match the facts of the situation, or does it just match my assumptions of the situation? The third part of emotion regulation is the acronym PLEASE. PL stands for treating the physical illness. E stands for eating healthy. A stands for avoiding mood-altering drugs. And S stands for sleeping well. And E stands for eat enough. That is something that's going to help to control this part, the brain, and control this part, the heart, if you have anxiety, and the stomach too, because they all kind of interreact or interchange with each other. Yeah. Pay attention to positive events. So maybe here's an example. Some people might give you 10 compliments and then they give you one negative thing about you. I can swear that y'all are going to pay attention to that one negative thing over the 10 positive things. But instead of that, try and focus on the positive things. And I know it's hard, but try and focus on that. And then, after you're done doing that, there are 9 examples of things that you can do to help with your mental health when you're feeling down in the dumps or sad or anxious or depressed or suicidal, right? You could have a good unrushed meal, visit a local attraction like a zoo or museum, have a picnic, watch a movie, go for a walk, give yourself a relaxing night in, visit with friends or family, put on headphones and do nothing but listen to music. That's a great one, guys. And try a new hobby. Sometimes we don't have the motivation to do any of these, but it would be nice if you could try. It's better to try than to never try, right? Okay, so that's a skill called emotion regulation that you guys can do when you are feeling lots of thoughts and emotions and urges and stresses and depressions and all these kinds of things that just kind of overwhelm our brain, right? This is a skill you can try. Anyways, bye now.